Local agents, competitive rates, fast service, friendly service. That's what you get at Farm Bureau. Staying connected to you because of C Spire, the number one network in Mississippi. Now, I told you about this at the end of last week. I want to make sure you are aware. This is really neat. It's new. It is cool. It's innovative. I'm not sure I've seen or heard anything like this. It's something C Spire is offering. And it's a time of the year where you may really want to take advantage of it. And this isn't getting a new phone. It's called the C Spire Health app. You can check it out, learn more, cspirehealth.com. It is an app from C Spire that you put on your phone. Download it, click, open up, and then sign up. And when you are sick, we're talking minor health issues, minor ailments. We're not talking about the major stuff. If you've broken your leg, go to the emergency room. But minor health issues. With the C Spire Health app, instead of, for something minor, getting in your car and driving 45 minutes and going and sitting in the doctor's office for an hour, or worse, just going into the emergency room because you don't know what else to do, they tell you that about 70% of emergency room visits are unnecessary. You will open this app, and when you are enrolled, signed up, you will click it, and you will be video chatting, video conferencing with a medical professional at University Medical Center in Jackson, nurse practitioner, someone along those lines. You will be video chatting live with a medical professional at UMC via the app. For C Spire customers, it's a copay of $29 for a visit. And many times for something minor, they can help you right there in that video chat, tell you what you need to do, where you need to go if you need to go, and oftentimes even prescribe what you need without you ever even going anywhere. You just do it on your phone. It is really, really incredible. Check it out. Yeah. C Spire Health app. Go to cspirehealth.com. How about that, Roger?
Well, that's putting access to health care in your hand.
It is.
Good. And imagine it's going to really appeal to the millennials who may not even necessarily have good insurance that time between they go off with their parents or whatever. I don't think you have to have it anymore, right? So
right. So
this is perfect. Yeah.
It is perfect. Hog Jowl on the text line says, for my hat, he says, dampen the bill and wrap to the desired shape with a rubber band. When it dries, the bill will be perfect and retain its shape. Thank you for the advice. I just might do that. I kind of got this one where I want it, though. This is my denim hat from Davini. See my Kubota hat? There's denim on the front, mesh on the back. I kind of have it where I want it.
Trucker hat, I think.
Trucker hat. Ryan, real quick on the text line, Ryan says, Matt, does the short length of time in which Moorhead got at Mississippi State make the MSU job less desirable? There probably does. It probably is true for some candidates. There may be some candidates who look at it and go, well, it's not for me. Because of that. Who knows?
He's getting paid.
Yeah, and there's no doubt about it. But to reiterate, if you're just tuning in, if you're watching on Facebook or Periscope, wherever you're listening, if you're just tuning in, a little more information, smoke billowing today. It seems to me, again, I'm just kind of reading the leaves and gathering with certain conversations. I think you may be looking at guys like maybe a group of Sarkisian, Joe Judge, and maybe a third like a Todd Grantham, who seem to have elevated in this search after talks and that kind of thing. We went over the resume of Sarkisian. But I gotta be honest, I'm really, really intrigued by Joe Judge. Let me just tell you real quick, and then I'm coming to the phone line. Joe obviously played at Mississippi State, but coming out of high school, he's from Pennsylvania. Coming out of high school, Joe Judge applied to 3 colleges. Now, I know Joe. I haven't seen him in a long time. The last time I saw him and talked to him was probably when he was a GA at Mississippi State over 10 years ago. I told you we played in a golf tournament together once. I remember we were on the same scramble team. Great guy. But he's got that look in his eye, okay, what you're kind of looking for. But anyway, he applied to 3 schools coming out of high school. The Naval Academy, to which he was accepted. Harvard, to which he was accepted. And Mississippi State, because Jackie Sherrill gave him the opportunity to walk onto the football team to be a deep snapper. And he wanted to play football, so he went to Mississippi State. And then you look at his ascent in terms of coaching. Obviously spent time at Alabama with on Nick Saban's staff. You do a little research, and regardless of what his job title was, I think it was some type of assistant coach, whatever, but he was basically running the special teams for those 3 Nick Saban teams that he coached for, 2 of which won national championships. Remember the Javier Arenas return game they had those years? That's Joe coaching that unit. And then he goes to the Patriots, and to where he's elevated to a point of he's kind of been the Patriots disciplinarian. He's kind of been the guy running their practices. He's kind of been Bill Belichick's right-hand man. And if you're on a coaching search, imagine sitting down and spending 45 minutes with Bill Belichick and him telling you how great this guy is. I think it's really, really intriguing, and I think he's impressive. There's another thing about Joe, and that is he's not only coached in the SEC as an assistant, recruited in the SEC as an assistant, played in it, but has spent some time in Starkville. Is coaching at State and living in Starkville and recruiting to Starkville the same as other places around the league? No. In some ways. Some good, some bad. But no, it's different. So there's some awareness there also. You know, and you got a guy like Jackie Sherrill and others who are really behind him. You got former players who are really behind him getting the job. You know, the guys you're watching play in the NFL playoffs who are really behind Joe Judge getting this job. So I think there's a lot of momentum for Joe. And like I say, having met him, I can tell you this with great certainty. You know, the character aspect, the toughness aspect, the got to have a little meanness aspect, those boxes are checked off automatically. You don't even have to ask twice. And I like that. Okay. Jay in Baltimore on the phone. Jay, what's up?
Well, you're certainly doing a good job of getting me excited on Joe Judge, but I did have a question on Nape here. Look, I'm not saying he is the right pick. I'm not saying that Mississippi State's the greatest job in the country, but help me understand how a guy supposedly making $900K could turn down a job making over $3 million.
Yeah.
Look, there's no guarantee he has a winning season next year. I can promise you I won't let Matt Wyatt turn down a job to broadcast the Super Bowl next year. This is a huge step up for him.
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
Well, Jay, here's the thing. Billy Napier is a heck of a coach, and he's absolutely somebody that, you know, State, I think, wanted to begin the process of going through the interview stuff with, but I think there's also a lot of it that kind of got blown out of proportion with him. Me personally, I don't have anything against him at all, and I think he's a really good coach. But me personally, I didn't understand how this ball with the snowball got rolling down the hill with him. Because every candidate that's on the list, you could shoot holes in it, Jay, including Napier. Because, I mean, I'm sitting there looking at it from the beginning going, I mean, he's a good coach, but the last 2 years, State couldn't on offense, yet they blew his teams out. You know, he's won a lot of games there, but he's in the Sun Belt. You know, he's been to bowl games. Yeah, he's been to bowl games, but he's lost them. I mean, you could shoot holes in his resume just like you could the other guys, and I never really understood why everybody just took it and ran with it without questioning it. That's all I'm saying. Does that make any sense? We got the music playing, Jay, so I got to split, so I hope that makes sense for you.
It does. I appreciate it, Matt.
Yeah, thank you, and I appreciate you hanging on as long as you did. And Bernard, if you can hang on for me, I appreciate that. We'll get to you next. I'm Matt in the Farm Bureau studio. Stick around.
You're listening to The Matt Wyatt Show.